Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hi, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Lassie.
Hey, Frank.
Hi, it's so good to see you.
Thank you.
I do enjoy a good Irish accent.
We're blending in. It's going well.
We can't use a green screen on this show because we're too green.
I have a very hard time doing an Irish accent because eventually I get into like Scottish accent and I'm like potato.
Well, for me, I never really did an Irish accent other than a cartoony one, like occasionally being in radio that asked you to voice a St. Patrick's Day spot.
Right.
And it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then my pastor at All Saints for 10 plus years is the pride of Carlingford, Father Michael Woods.
Father Michael Woods.
And so we should say that it's the Krisha and Frank show.
Hello.
We should say that you can find us on all the audio podcasting apps, and you can find us on YouTube. Please do subscribe.
You can also find our merch at krishaandfrank.com and links to all of our social media and YouTube as well.
And all the episodes, just keep going down that page. You're like, man, are they really on episode 120? Yes, we are.
Really are.
And those are just the numbered episodes. The Seymour Smokies episodes don't count against the number. The Thanksgiving special didn't count against the number.
We work a lot.
Because we like it.
I love it.
We enjoy each other's company, and this show is fun for us to do, and that's why we make you watch it.
And for a moment, behind the scenes, I love that we're becoming even better friends and closer friends than we have been. And it's not that we haven't been close, because you've always known all my secrets, and we've always just talked as friends.
It's a new level because we chose, out of necessity, to use my house as the studio.
Right.
So
we
work
could have
here.
used my house, but
we could have.
But why would we have done that?
Well, I've got the backlighting. By sheer coincidence and chance, there's there's some ceiling lights behind us that are like studio lights.
Yeah.
They just happened to do it.
My friend Robert from Sweet Fanny Adams wrote in and asked a lot of questions, like technical questions. And one of his questions was, how did you decide where to shoot? And it was like...
where to build your set. Jere decided... Well, you know what happened was when we did the... near the was it September, October, we did an episode where Santa Claus came to the house and we had a chimney sweep.
Yes.
And we realized that the mantle was a very good-looking place on camera.
It's got a great backdrop, and we knew we had to move inside because we were on the porch, and everything started by us being on the porch and out of necessity of COVID and things like that. But also, it's kind of where we had started before.
And the podcast porch. We like the alliteration of it, so we hardly wanted to move into the podcast dining room.
And now we kind of don't want to move out to the porch.
I know,
because the dogs bark. Yeah,
we can talk about those people.
But happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, so the pride of Carlingford is Father Michael Woods. His dad was the solicitor Woods, who had a huge family in Carlingford. And so he's got many brothers and sisters, and his mom was Hilda, and she lived to be well into her 90s. And when my wife and I went to visit Ireland, we decided we were going to go. I think it was 2016, however long, almost just over 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago. And Father Michael says, well, you must go to my town. He would tell that to everybody, though. Right. He would say it literally to everyone who might be going to Ireland. You must go to my town. You must go to my town. And we're like, well, why not? Why don't we?
Yeah.
We
know somebody from here.
Yeah, we don't know anybody else in Ireland. So we go to Ireland, that when we get off the plane, they look at my passport and they say, welcome home.
Nice. Yeah.
And I've never been there before, of course. But we rent a car. I drive on the left. We drive up to Carlingford.
Which you practiced on YouTube?
I did.
I love that.
And it turns out that Carlingford is kind of like a vacation town, a resort town. Oh. Well, not a resort town. It's like where the girls go for their hen parties.
Oh.
So
it would be like the Napa.
Yeah, the bachelorette parties. Okay. Constant bachelorette.
Oh, it's like the Nashville.
Yeah.
Ew.
So the hen parties are a thing, and it's on the sea. So it's kind of got a little bit of everything,
Nice.
It's got all the things about it. And Father Michael, from his large family, many of his relatives are in the hospitality business.
Oh, cool.
So when we go, not only does he say, well, you're going to stay here at Hilda's old place, which is his mom, her old condo, which I guess they use as an Airbnb or whatever they use it as, because I found out later that they thought we hadn't even arrived because Jere and I were so afraid to touch anything.
This was that story.
We were so afraid to touch anything. We didn't
disrupt.
even to open the fridge. They're like, and Father Michael gets a message from Ireland. He's like, I'm not sure they've been here. They didn't touch any of the eggs in the fridge. Everything is still there.
They didn't use anything.
No, they didn't take any butter.
They didn't sleep in the bed?
They didn't use any butter. They didn't have an egg.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't know that those were for us to use. It didn't occur to us because in addition to that, Father Michael had set it up that we would go to this restaurant on one day, this restaurant on another day, and this restaurant on the third day.
Wow.
All of which are operated by his nieces and nephews.
That's amazing.
And his nephews-in-law and his nieces-in-law, they're all in the business. Well, his two brothers are both in the hotel B&B type business as well. So we go and we visit with Paul and his wife. But
that was you. Basically, you had a travel planner,
right? But it's his brother Kevin, who is the real. He's the Leprechaun Whisperer.
What is that?
He made it up. He made it up.
Okay.
But
I thought that I was just missing information.
No, he made it up because he claims to be the last person in Ireland who can speak to the leprechauns. Okay, but he's got them all fooled. And so you go.
Does he?
Okay. Somebody stole his gas generator, his electric generator, and he was pissed.
Well, yeah,
he was so angry,
as you would be.
So Kevin Woods gets on the news. They interview him on the RTE or the ITV, whatever the heck it's called, and he says, "Now you listen here. Whoever stole my generator, the curse of the leprechaun is on you, and if you don't have it back here by midnight tonight, the leprechaun curse is on you forever." And it was returned.
Wow. Somebody's like, I don't want to mess with them leprechauns.
So we go, and we want to pay the €5 to deck the leprechaun cave tour.
Ooh.
And we won't take our money because we're friends with Father Michael.
Okay.
And in fact, when he found out that Father Michael had given us some leftover euros, he got furious. He says, I gave those to him the last time he was here. What is he doing turning around and giving it away? So... Anyway, it's a brotherly thing.
Yeah.
So we go, and he won't take our money, but you get a little souvenir leprechaun, and you sit around, and he tells you, now listen carefully. We're going to go down into the leprechaun cave, and I want you to know, don't believe a word that comes out of my mouth. It's all lies, I tell you. All lies.
That's awesome.
And then we go down in the cave, and everybody believes everything that he says.
Of course, because you set somebody up that everything you're saying is a lie.
And basically what he's done is he's dug a hole in his front yard, and he's put a big... corrugated pipe in there and buried it and put stairs down into it on either end.
That is dedication.
And you go in there and he's got a hole dug into the thing and like doll furniture and like a stuffed animals. And he says, this is the path the leprechaun comes down from the hill.
You know what that sounds like? Look, Rock City.
Yeah.
That's probably where, Rock City, the Sea Rock City. When you go in there, they've got, it's the weirdest thing. You have to go there.
Do they have a little suit of green clothing?
It's the strangest.
He says, I almost caught this one. He ran right out of his clothes, ran up the hill naked.
Good Lord. Well, I pulled my neck out.
Can I get you something?
I got it.
You need anything?
I got it.
So, yeah, the imagination, the detail, he puts you up against the wall and determines if you can hear leprechauns or not.
I love that.
He does all this stuff, puts a special hat on you. I mean, there's this whole rigmarole.
I love that, though. And kitschy stuff like that is my jam.
So he's on the Twitter and on Facebook as the Leprechaun Whisperer, and he gets interviewed on the news all the time. And his brother, who's a Catholic priest, gets frustrated sometimes because he's like, they believe your
stuff, but not mine. That's kind of great.
But I, Catholic priest, Father Michael Woods, my dear friend, my dear friend.
Well, you know who else could be said to be a bone whisperer?
Oh, Dr. Bass.
Dr. Bass. Bonezones.com. Don't forget the S.
That's true. I mentioned it the other day that should they outlive me, Father Michael can do my funeral, and Dr. Bass can exhume me.
Yeah, and maybe you could have the Leprechaun Whisperer and come whisper at leprechauns at your funeral. That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So when Dr. Bass speaks, though, he tells the truth. You know, everything he says would be the opposite of the Leprechaun Whisperer. It would be 100% true.
Yeah.
When he talks about the incredible tales of forensics, whether it's solving a case that involves looking at a bone and trying to find the knife mark on a rib that proves a guy was stabbed.
And here's the thing I am obsessed with. I was thinking about this the other day when I was out at the Greenway. I was listening to one of my murder podcasts, and I was thinking about, they were talking about the forensics of this person. And I don't think everyone, the world, realizes how Dr. Bass's work, this one singular man, his work and his department changed forensics for the world.
Now, I have a Google alert for everything in my life, and I obviously worked with Bone Zones and Dr. Bass as his MC, so I have a Google alert for Body Farm and for Dr. Bass. So I get an alert the other day that the website FL Science, as you probably know, I Believe in Love Science, had written an article about body farms. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if they know anything. So I read the article, and of course, it's really your point. It's like, would you believe that there's a couple acres in Tennessee, just off Alcoa Highway, and all of this stuff happens there. And sure enough, it was very accurate. It mentions Dr. Bass, and it was everything in it was
so cool,
right on target. And your point taken is that worldwide forensic research started because Dr. Bass and the rest of the police couldn't identify this headless corpse in Middle Tennessee that turns out to be 100 years old but looked fresh.
Yeah.
How could that be?
And so he started.
He said, "We're going to have to study the science." So, meanwhile, his friend Art Bohannon, who is a amazing fingerprint expert, has written a couple of books, including "Prints of a Man." That was his first book, and then one of the more recent ones, Watauga. And we do have a sale going on to get those out, so we can move new merchandise in. So you can get either one of those book titles and a Dr. Bass Art Bohannon T-shirt for the combo price of $30.
That's at bonezones.com. Don't forget the S.
Da, 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 da.
I have to enunciate that. Don't forget the S.
Well, it's always been your thing. It's been funny. I remember when we first did the show. Day 1, day 2 of the show, we got a comment. We got so many comments on "Don't forget the S."
Don't forget the S.
Because when you hear that joke for the first time, it's hilarious. Now, of course, we've done it, 100 times.
But now I have to say it. What if I stop saying it?
Well, yeah, I don't want you to go to the wrong. I mean, good God forbid you go to Bone Zone without the S.
Right.
I can't promise what's there.
I looked it up. Don't.
I don't want to know.
But now if I stop saying, people will be like, "Why did you stop saying it?" I'm like, crud. Here's what I've done. I'm always in trouble.
Well, I meant to ask you. I saw this on your Twitter a while back, and it mentioned that you had an incident when you were in your
Which one?
In your mall walking.
Oh.
Because I've been thinking about the mall walking, and thinking it's a good. I mean, I've been walking around the neighborhood, as you know. You complimented me for getting out there. I was
proud of you.
I'm breathing heavy on the phone, and
luckily you were just walking.
and you said to me, "Good for you." But you. Well, like you said at the beginning of the show, we've become closer friends. So, in previous times, I would have stopped walking, muted the microphone, done something else. But I'm like, no, I got to get the steps in. And you're talking to me on the phone about all the things going on in your life. And I also see the stuff on Twitter that you don't tell me.
Yeah. Well, I use Twitter for that place where when random things happen to me, like I lock myself out of my house, or I was actually not mall walking the day that this happened.
Yeah, you were mall falling.
I was mall falling. I went to one store specifically to pick up an online purchase that wasn't even mine. I was asked if I could please go pick up this purchase. It was the last day to pick it up, so I had to go up the escalator, JCPenney, and I was thinking.
Are you afraid of escalators?
No, not at
all. Was it my son who called them the black stairs? And didn't care for them.
Yeah.
I think Megan and we used to have fun on the escalator. We would like jump on it together, like, you're jumping into the Mary Poppins chalk drawings or whatever it is we would do. But, Frank Jr. as a kid, he was a little more wary of this.
Chris was, when he was little, was not a big fan of escalators.
So you escalate.
I escalate, and I was on the escalator at JCPenney. It goes from the women's department to the men's department, and the restrooms are up there. And I recall that I was just thinking about life because usually I go up the stairs of the escalator, but there was another person a couple stairs in front of me.
Were you wearing any of the assorted footwear that they tell you not to wear on escalators?
No, I was wearing tennis shoes.
Well, there used to be a sign that said "Don't wear sneakers on an escalator."
Oh,
I'm talking in the olden days.
Oh, what would you wear? Dress shoes at skink?
Maybe I'm crazy, but my recollection.
I thought it was like flip flops.
My recollection was, how long has it been since I rode an escalator?
I don't know.
Probably years.
I don't know.
I don't go anywhere.
Okay.
That needs an escalator.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember riding an escalator. I probably have, but when I remember as a kid, it was a bigger deal. I loved escalators.
Yeah.
And they had signs that said, with certain shoes you're not supposed to wear. And I thought sneakers were banned from escalators.
Oh, well, I was wearing sneakers, and I was just lost in my thoughts.
Yeah, I'll type that in. Sneakers on escalators.
And, I had my mask on, and I really was just absolutely lost in thought. To the point to where the escalator ended and I did not. And I mean, when I say I fell flat on my face, I mean, I was so lost in thought, and it came at me so quickly that I didn't have time to put my hands down to save.
I'm getting like this uncomfortable feeling in my legs and in my body that just I don't like.
I physically want to show you how it happened, but I can't right now. But I will tell you.
You can take the camera outside and
I could do it right here in the floor, but I mean, I went from a standing position to an on my face position in seconds.
Yeah, I don't know why that freaks me out, the idea of falling face first. It gives me this shiver up my...
Do I still have a bonk right there? It was like a bonk.
It's not that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad, but I bonked my forehead, luckily not my mouth and my face. I bonked my forehead and my hand, and it went smack! And I was just like, oh my God.
You gotta protect the money. This is the money. You gotta. You're an actress. You gotta protect the money.
It wasn't. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just. Thinking.
And next thing you know, the moving stairs have stopped moving, and you're. They're pushing your heels forward.
My feet were still on the escalator part. Like my toes were still going boom, 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 and I stood up. Not one human being in the place even turned that I'm aware of. No, I was just like, okay.
They probably thought, oh, she had the COVID. She's dead. She's dead now. Leave her be.
When I tell you,
see, like Crocs, you can't wear Crocs in escalators. But I thought, no shoes not allowed on escalators. I'll try that. Go ahead.
But I still don't. Do you ever just get that lost?
In thought?
And so daydreaming? Like, there have been times, like, when I'm driving, I'm like, how did I get here?
I mean, that's an actual thing. You can. There's research on that where you get into this semi-hypnotic trance while you're driving, and it's autopilot because you know the way. So that's happening on a subconscious level, and your conscious mind is focused on some other things.
Yeah, that I must have just known the way. Yeah, because
there's research on that. That's an actual phenomenon.
My subconscious mind was just doing some work, and I was on autopilot, and my autopilot failed. I was like a failed Tesla.
Well, it looks like Crocs are the ones they're saying nowadays don't wear on escalators. But I always thought it was strange because obviously I was a kid and I obviously wore sneakers and I rode escalators. It didn't seem like it was a danger.
I don't know if. I don't remember. I remember seeing no flip-flops, you know?
Oh, sure. Yeah, anything that will get caught in the teeth of the escalator.
Well, I fell flat on my face, and luckily...
Well, I'm glad you're okay, because there's people who've had much worse injuries on escalators than just a little bump on the head.
Luckily, I didn't do anything but bump my head and embarrass myself. But honestly, I wasn't even that embarrassed.
So you put it on Twitter hoping that more people would pile on?
No, I put things on Twitter that the other day I put Tiger Balm on my shoulder, and then I was like laying in my bed eating some Dunkaroos icing, and I licked the same finger that had the Tiger Balm on it, and I was like, wah, wah, wah. And I put that on Twitter because to me it's just like I love those. The tweets that I love reading from other people are
that
those
random mistake.
Yeah, that random. This is me in real life.
Yeah.
This is me in real life.
If you can handle me at my worst, what is it?
Yeah.
If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me.
You don't deserve me at my best. And that's by no far my worst, but it is by far one of my most vulnerable. I fart, I pick my nose, I lick icing.
You burp. I burp. But you
burp a lot.
You burp here on the program. You haven't in a while.
No. I don't know. Maybe I'm in my gas X is working. I'm just a mess, but I'm a delightful mess.
Well, we have to. Maybe you'll. Can you eat pizza?
Yeah.
Because there was a time when it was with the...
Before I had my gallbladder
had your tummy issues. Because I was thinking that we haven't given an update in a while on this. Tanya Cinnamon has put money in the tip jar to buy pizza.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to make that happen. And also, Rob Howard of Hutch and Howard seemed fascinated by that. He thinks that he, like you, can differentiate brands of pizza by smell, which I can't even imagine doing.
Yeah, after that day that we filmed that, I ordered pizza, and it was not in my diet plan, but I ate it anyway.
Because I was thinking we get Rob to host us maybe at the conference room over there at the real estate place. Oh. And we do the taste test over there.
Do they have like a picnic table outside and we could...
Rob, what do you have?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you to sponsor it, and then Tanya gave us some money too, so we can buy a lot of pizza.
We got a lot of pizza.
With that Hutch and Howard money? Oh my gosh. And, and we can have a fun old time with it, and
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll leave that up to you guys to, figure out.
Fight it out. Pizza fight.
Take the initiative, saying, okay, we can do it on such and such. These days are available, and then we'll check with actress over here and find a day that she can do it.
Good luck. Yeah, but I can't wait. I love pizza.
Yeah. All right, that sounds like fun.
I like that a lot.
Okay, now what do you eat?
Go ahead. Are you having any special food for St. Patrick's Day?
You would think. You know what?
What?
I don't really particularly care for corned beef and cabbage. It's overrated.
Oh, I love corned beef and cabbage.
My mother made corned beef a lot, and it was just okay. I didn't think it was that great. But my wife has researched, and since after our trip to Ireland, figured out how to make a really good shepherd's pie.
Oh, I love shepherd's pie.
Which to me is as authentically Irish as is, or British, but she makes it with lamb meat, and the mashed potatoes on the top, and the peas and the carrots.
So good.
And hers to me tastes better than the ones I remember getting in the bar over in Ireland, because it was like, they're probably used to hamburger meat or something.
There's one that I had one time that had chunks of lamb in it, and not like ground lamb. It was chunks. It was almost like pot roast, but it was lamb.
So that would be fun if we had that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't drink green beer.
You don't drink beer?
Yeah, I mean, right. You're right. I mean, if someone had a Guinness and wanted to give me a sip of it so I could toast them, I would take it. If someone had some Irish whiskey and I would take a sip, I would have it. But
some Basil Haydens.
I don't think I have any Irish.
Basil Haydens.
What's that?
Basil Haydens.
I don't have it.
Basil Haydens.
Like I don't have anything like that. I think all I've got is moonshine.
Oh, well, that works. You got some food colors.
Well, anyway, so maybe we can have something special tonight.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it.
Yep. I'm working.
I guess I got to go to the store. You are?
Yeah.
I got to go to the store and buy some lamb meat and some potatoes.
You better.
All right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks so much. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day Eve.
Also, if you would like an Audible trial, go to audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank. You can sign up for your 30-day free trial there. You get one free download that you get to keep forever and ever. And then after 30 days, you can decide whether or not you want to keep Audible.
And most people do.
Yeah.
Because once you get hooked on that idea of listening to everything.
It's so good.
Comedy, scripted comedy, stand-up comedy.
Podcasts.
And, of course, books. Books upon books.
Okay.
Thanks so much for listening.
Bye.
See you tomorrow on... What's tomorrow? Is tomorrow the Feast of St. Joseph?
I don't know.
I'll work on it. All right.
Do you need potatoes for that too?
No, usually bread. Usually they send out... Maybe that's the 19th.
Good Lord.
Okay.
They're trying to kill my diet, man. Have some bread and some beer and some potatoes and some blah.
It might not be till Friday.
Have you had the cake? Get some cake.
I have to Google it. I think it's Friday. All right, DJ Bell.